Hi lovely people and welcome back to my tutorial for today. I sincerely appreciate you guys for your love. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for your support, and please, if this is your first time stopping by, kindly help us by hitting on that red icon to subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell to be the first to be notified whenever I upload a new video. So now today's class we shall be making a summer strap dress. Is actually a demand from one of us. So you can just feel free to drop any style that you want us to work on, okay? And we will do justice to that. Okay. So I think that this video is a must watch, especially this season. It's something else. The weather is something else. So I think you need this. You can call it an evening dress. It's just a free dress that you can wear and get a little bit of breeze. Okay, all right. So here I have 1.5 yard of this chiffon fabric. Okay, so I don't want it to be cumbersome, but you can get up to 3 yards depending on how full you want it to be. But for this, I don't want it to be that big. Okay, so this 1.5 is okay for what I want. So first thing I will do now is to start my measurement. So for this line here, I will start my measurement. Okay, all right. So because this is a strap dress, I will be taking off okay, let's say be taking out 5 inches. Okay, all right, I'll be taking out 5 inches. Okay, then the length of the dress I'm working with is 40 inches. Then I'll add extra 1 inch for the hemming, so making it 41 inches. Okay, okay, so from those 5 inch now I will take my nipple measurements from the shoulder to nipple, which is 12 inches. So here I will mark my 12 inches. Okay, so at this point now we're taking our bust measurement. Okay, then I will mark my waistline. From those 5 inches, we'll mark our waistline, which is 17 inches. Then our hip line, from my waist to my hip, is 9 inches. Okay, so I'll just connect the lines. Okay, so having connected those lines, the next thing I will do now is to take our shoulder measurement. Okay, so the shoulder I'm working with is 16 inches. Divide by 2 to give us 8 inches. Okay, but because this is a kind of an off shoulder dress, remember we minus 5 inches from our main measurement. Okay, so from that 8 inches now I will minus it 2 inches. Okay, so that we can get our chest measurement. Okay, so I will just mark that 6 inches. Okay, all right, so the next thing to do is to place back this measurement, the 5 inches that we minus. Okay, then we take our armhole measurement. The armhole I'm working with is 18 inches into 2 to give us 9 inches. So here I have my 9 inches. I'll just make a straight line here. Okay, so at this my breast shoulder to breast to nipple point, I will mark my bust measurement. So the bust I'm working with is 41 inches. So when divided by 4, it will give us 10.25. Okay, so I'll mark my 10.25. So because this is a free dress, I'll be adding extra 1 inch for ease, and I'll add extra 1 inch for seam allowance. Okay, all right. So this measurement that I marked here, which is 10.25, I will also mark it to this our armhole measurement. Okay, so that it will help us to connect the armhole to the shoulder measurement. Okay, all right. So from this 6 now, I will just connect it. You can connect it straight, or you just make a little bit of curve here to connect it. Okay, all right. So at this neckline now, you decide on what to do. If you like, you can just leave it down straight this way, or you can just make a little bit of curve, or you can make it a v-neck. Whichever neck that you want, you can do it. But for this course of this tutorial, I think I'll be leaving the neck straight. Okay, all right. So the next thing I will do now is to just add back my allowances here, which is 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for seam allowance. So altogether is 2 inches. So I'll just connect those two lines together. Okay, so because this is a free dress, I don't think there's any need for the circumference, the waist circumference and the hip circumference. So what I would just do is just to connect this straight down to the hem line this way. Okay, I'll just make use of all the space, all the allowances that I have remaining at this fabric. Okay, so I'll just connect that down to my hem line. Okay, all right. So I'll just connect this down to the hem line, and that is all. So as you can see, this tutorial is very quick. It won't even take you up to 10 minutes. Okay, so I would like you to try yours, and bet me you will love the outcome. Okay, so after cutting it out, we have this. Okay, so what I would do now is to pipe the armhole side. Okay, then after that I will take the measurements of this neck line. Okay, then I will now add it what I removed to get my accurate strip. Okay, and the accurate strap for the sleeve. Okay, all right. So when I measure this now, remember that what we took off is 5 inches. That means 5 inches for the front and 5 inches for the back to make it 10 inches. Okay, so 10 plus 10 for one side and 10 for the other side. So 10 plus 10 will give us 20. So when we now calculate this, the what we have here, let me just take the measurements and know what we have. Okay, we have 12 inches here. So that means for the back also we have 12 inches. So 12 plus 12 will give us 24 inches. Then plus that 20 will give us 44 inches. Okay, so now I will use this remaining fabric to cut out a long strip of 44 inches. Okay, then I'll use that 44 inches. Now I will join it to form a circle, then I will use it to pipe the neck. Okay, for this strap dress, we have different ways of making it depending on what you want. You can actually, when you are cutting it, you add extra allowance. There's some that they use elastic. There is some that you just cut out a long rope and attach it at the front side will carry its own and the back will carry its own. When the person puts it on, she will just tie it out. Okay, then some you will just close it up, then you now insert the rope. Okay, it will be one side. Then some are the one that you will just stitch the rope or the strip. Okay, just to form the sleeve. So it just depends on what you want. There is one again that I have. That one I just folded here and I fold here. Then I now attach my I use chain in making that one. Maybe I should just show you so that I will show you different types of making a strap dress. So it just depends on your choice. While some if you just take your half length measurement, then you now attach your elastic to make the center part to come together. So it's just different types, but for this course of this tutorial we are making a very simple one. Okay, all right. Okay, I just brought this dress to show you what I mean. So look at this one now. You just take your half length and just attach your elastic and make the waistline to come together. Okay, then I used a chain to beautify it. Okay, I just used my chain for this one. So this now serves at the sleeve. Okay, but for this dress we'll be making use of the fabric to do to make the sleeve. Okay, but we will not be inserting the sleeve round the shoulder. Okay, this one we will be stitching it to it. Okay, so let's go get down to business. I'll go to my machine now. It's either you fold this in or you cut out a strip of this, or you can use your bias to tape the armhole first. After taping the armhole, then you now close up this part. Okay, so this is what I mean. So I'm gonna head now to cut out our 42 inches. Okay, so I added extra 1 inch that I will use to join it together. So I will just go to the machine now and I will stitch it up this way on the back side. I will use that half inch that I had to close it up so that I will have my exact 22 inches. So when I close it up this way, then I will close up the armhole. I will close up the armhole. Close up the armhole. Then I will use 1 inch to shape out the side. Yes, I have to shape out the side after closing here. Then I will now use this one. After closing it up, it will now be a form of it will be round, it will be circle. Okay, so I will use it to tape out the neck line so that it will form the sleeve. Okay. Okay, for the piping of the armhole, I just cut out a small piece. Okay, so turning to the right face of the dress, I will also turn this with the right face faces the right face of the main dress this way. Okay, then I will now stitch it up. So after sewing up to the end, I'll just cut out the excess part. Okay, then I'll turn to the back side. Then flip this piece for the piping. So I'll just turn it in this way. I'll turn it in first like this. Then I'll now turn it again this way. Okay. So this is how to make a very neat piping. If you're using bias, it's still the same thing. So you see, right? So just go ahead now and stitch this up. So I'll make sure I stitch at the tip of the dress. So we have a nice finishing. So just continue to fold it inwards this way. after this, you will find out that the finishing is very neat. Okay, so this is what makes your works to look like ready made. The next thing I will do now is just to join the back and the front. I've done that for all the armholes. Okay, so I'll just join the back and the front and use my 1 inch to close up the side. Okay, as you can see, I've closed up the sides. Okay, and I left 7 inch sheets open here where I've been inserting my pockets. Okay, so from the armhole, I just go down by 6 inches, and then I left 7 inches open, then I close up the rest. Okay, so here is the pocket that I want to insert. Okay, so when you look at the pocket, you will see that one side is straight and the other one is a little bit of curved. So the curved side will be facing the upper part of the dress, while the straight will be facing downwards. Okay, all right. So like this way now, I'll just open up the side of the dress. So just open it up this way. Okay, then I will now open up my pockets this way. So when I stitch up the pocket, I left like 1 inch open that I'll use to stitch it at the body of the dress. Okay, so I just left here open. So I'll just bend that this way to suit the open that I made. Okay, so I'll just fix it this way and open it up to meet this. So I'll just sew it up straight. So after stitching up one side, I'll just turn it out to the other side and stitch it up. Okay, this way. After stitching to this other part, I will also turn the remaining side and face it to the other side of the dress and stitch it out. I'll also go ahead to turn out the front side. Then I will now close up my hemline using the 1 inch allowance that I added when I was taking my measurements. Okay, I'll just use that 1 inch now to fold it inwards. Okay, so I'll just fold it one, then I'll fold again to close out the mouth. Okay, all right. So I'll just go ahead and now stitch it out. Okay, now I've closed up this for the sleeve. So what I will do now is just to find the midpoint. Okay, here is the place that I stitched, and I want this stitched part to be at the center back. Okay, so I'll just use it to find the midpoint to make sure that I have equal. What I have here must be equal to what I have to this other side. So when I get the midpoint, I will just hold it up and I will notch the both side. Okay, so having done this one now, I'll also get my fabric, put them together and also mark the midpoint. Okay, so that it will serve as a guide for me. Okay, so I'll just fold it into two. So as to find the midpoint. Okay, so I'll just mark that. So here I will choose where I want to stitch first. Is either I start from the wrong face to turn to the right face, or I start from the right face to turn to the wrong face. But I like stitching at the right face so that my stitching will go straight. So here I will bring up this one. You know, this our dress, we cut it out together so it doesn't have back and it doesn't have front. Okay, so now this stitching here will now serve as a back for us. Okay, since we want to put the center at the center of the back, so it will now help us to know the back face of the dress. Okay, so here I will hold it up this way, the notched part, okay, to meet the notch part of the main dress this way. I'll put it out this, I'll hold it out this way, then I will stitch it up starting from this mid point. Okay, then when I stitch it, reaching to this end of the dress, I will stop. Reaching to the armhole, I will stop. Then I will also stitch out this other part. Okay, so after stitching for this side, I'll go ahead and stitch for the other, do the same thing to the other side of the dress. Okay, I'll just find the midpoint. Make sure that you have this, you set out the neckline well, this way. Okay, so just hold the notched parts, then also place it at the back of this other side. Okay, let the notch points meet with those notch points. Okay, all right, so go ahead now and stitch it out. Okay, just use my pin to hold it down. And I'll go ahead and do the same thing I did to the other side. Okay, after attaching it, we have this. So what I would do now is to start from this point at this notched part. I'll also make it to join the other knot part that I've already sewn, but I'll fold it inward this way, maybe using like 0.25. Okay, so that I will close the mouth. Then I will make it to join to this place, those points, this way. Okay, then I will stitch it out. And as I'm stitching now, I'll be stitching it round. So as I'm sewing it, I'm folding also to this other part that is not attached to the dress. So I'll just close them up and stitch it out once. Okay. Okay, so this is the result of our dress. As you can see, it comes out very nice. Okay, so you can also decide to use your belt to it.